that the shooter's mother showed him a new gun purchase that she had made and said that it was part of a gun collection. And she also told him that she would often go target shooting.
The town of Newtown, Pat Ladora.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have comments on the behalf of the town government and the superintendent of schools who was unable to be with us today. Newtown has suffered a horrendous tragedy, a harm that has broken our hearts. Our wound is deep because we are a close-knit community. We truly care for each other. We are coming together with love and support for those families who have suffered this terrible loss. We are a strong and caring place. We will put our arms around those families and around each other. We will find a way to heal so that all of our residents, young and old, will again find peace. I ask that you help us in this healing process. Please treat our community with kindness. Please know that we have suffered a terrible loss and we need your respect on this healing journey. I turn to you as parents, as siblings, as caring people, to know that your words and your actions can help us on this healing journey, or you can hinder us. I want to take a moment to thank all the support that we've received from the governor's office, from the state police, from many clinicians and clergy, from the outreach across the nation and across the world. I think we are all touched by the magnitude of this tragedy. So I thank you very much for listening to my message, and I hope you take my comments to heart. Thank you.
May I please spell your name slowly for us?
My name is spelled L-L-O-D-R-A, pronounced Lodra. I am the first selectman of this community.
Is that your first and your last name?
My first name is Patricia.
Thank you very much.
The second gentleman's here today. His team has been working very, very hard in this process with the identification and the postmortem examination. I'd like to introduce to you the State of Connecticut Chief State Medical Examiner, Dr. H. Wayne Carver.
Thank you, Paul. First of all, on behalf of my wife and my sons, and on behalf of my other family, our people at the Office of Chief Medical Examiner, we wish to extend our deepest sympathies to the families and everyone else who has been so hurt by this event. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you. The Office of Chief Medical Examiner got here, actually the Chief Medical Examiner, got here a couple hours after the building was secured. We were here until approximately 12:30 last night. We thank the emergency services who built us a temporary facility in the parking lot, and we took identification photographs and did preliminary identification on all the victims and had everybody transported back to Farmington by about 1 in the morning. Our entire staff turned out, started the postmortem examinations this morning. We completed the children by about 1:30, and I believe everybody except the assailant and his mother will be finished tonight, and I'll do those tomorrow morning. Lieutenant Vance and staff have a list of the names and the dates of birth. Anything else on there?
No, sir.
No. And that'll be distributed. Hope you got enough copies. Everybody, death was caused by, everyone that we've completed so far was caused by gunshot wounds. And obviously the manner of death on all these cases has been classified as homicide.
How many medical examiners worked with you today, sir?
I have 4 doctors and, man, I think all 10 of my technicians, both the full-timers and part-timers, were there. And one student from Quinnipiac University, this was her first day, that was kind of interesting. And the majority of our investigative staff were working on this at some point, whether they were with us last night or on the job today. And I think a lot of our clerical or what they call processing techs who do the paperwork and so forth were there. But they're up all on the second floor, and I didn't get there today.
Sir, you obviously, by the nature of your job, you deal with horrible things at times. Is this one over the top? Is this one a bit different than things you've dealt with before, sir?
Did everybody hear the question? Given what I deal with all the time, is this one over the top? I've been at this for a third of a century, and it's my sensibilities may not be the average man, but this probably is the worst I have seen, or the worst that I know of any of my colleagues having seen. And that all the more makes me proud and grateful to our staff, who, to a man, have just behaved most professionally and strongly. And I hope they and I hope the people of Newtown don't have it crash on their head later. But.
Doctor, on that examination, could you tell which caliber of the handgun compared to the rifle of these shooting victims were from this incident?
It's a good thing there's not being a prosecution, because then I couldn't answer that. But all the wounds that I know of at this point were caused by the long weapon.
So the rifle was the primary weapon?
Yes.
And what caliber were these bullets?
Question was, what caliber were these bullets? And I probably know more about firearms than most pathologists, but if I say it in court, they yell at me and don't make me answer. So I'll let the police deal with that for you.
Doctor, can you tell about the nature of the wounds? Were they at very close range when the children shot them across the room? Can you tell?
I only did 7 of the autopsies. The victims I had ranged from 3 to 11 wounds apiece, and I only saw 2 of them with close-range shooting. But that's that's a sample. I really don't have detailed information on the rest of the injuries.
But you said it was the long rifle that was used?
Yes.
But the long rifle was discovered in the car. That's not correct.
It's not correct, sir.
Follow up on that question. How many bullets, casing or fragments did you find total on the autopsy? Can you tell us that?
Oh. I'm lucky I can tell you how many I found. I don't know. There were lots of them, okay? This type of weapon is not... the bullets are designed in such a fashion that the energy... This is very clinical, I shouldn't be saying this, but the energy is deposited in the tissue, and so the bullet stays in.
Doctor, the children died quickly. Are you able to tell that?
That's always a difficult question, and obviously I don't have detailed information on all of them, but this is a very devastating set of injuries.
Did they suffer?
I don't. The best of my ability to answer that question, which is always less than perfect, if so, not for very long.
Were most of the injuries multiple?
All the ones, I believe so, yes.
Doctor, what time?
What shape of the bodies and the families were brought forward to identify?
We did not bring the bodies and the families into contact. We took pictures of them, of their facial features. You have it's easier on the families when you do that. There is a time and a place for up close and personal in the grieving process. But to accomplish this, we felt it would be best to do it this way, and you can sort of you can control the situation depending on your photographer, and I have very good photographers.
Do you know if there's a difference in the time of death between the body that was recovered from the house and the bodies that were recovered from the school?
No, I don't.
How young?
Sorry, I don't.
How young was the youngest victim, doctor, and how old was the oldest victim?
Y'all gonna have to look at the spreadsheet when we pass it out. I'm sorry.
That you dealt with?
Was it the
All the ones I dealt with were all first. Everybody I dealt with, I believe they're all first graders.
Did the gunman kill himself with the rifle?
No, I don't know yet. I'll examine him tomorrow morning, but I don't think so.
What about the woman in the home? The fatal injuries?
I have not seen her yet.
In terms of the children, were they found all in one location, one classroom, or?
Guys, what are we releasing on that? Okay. The Paul and company will deal with that. Paul and company, Lieutenant Vance is going to handle that one. We discussed this briefly with the staff before I came here. There was, I believe everybody was hit more than once.
Was there any evidence of struggle, any bruises, or?
In terms of the nature of the shooting, and was there any sense that there was a lot of care taken to precision on the shooter, or was it spread sort of randomly?
Both. It's a very difficult question to answer. Okay.
Even the wounds.
Yeah. It's really. You'd think after the thousands of people I've seen shot, I could answer that question, but if I attempted to answer it in court, there'd be an objection and they'd win.
Doctor, you did describe, you said you did 7 personally. These kids looked like when they came to you. What were they wearing? Can you describe what
They're wearing cute kid stuff. I mean, they're first graders. They're wearing cute kid stuff. Huh? It's the kind of stuff you'd send your kids or your grandkids out the door to first grade in.
Doctor, can you discuss the fatal injuries to the adults?
They're similar to those of the children.
Doctor, the children that you autopsied, where on the bodies were those wounds?
All over. All over.
What about his mother?
Pardon? I have not examined her yet. That'll be tomorrow morning.
Were y'all sitting at desks, or were they running away when this happened?
I'll let the guys who the scene guys address that issue. Okay. Obviously, I was at the scene. Obviously, I'm very experienced in that. But there are people who are the #1 professionals in that. I'll let them handle it.
Doctor, you said that the bodies that you examined, the 7 had 3, but each had 3 to 11 shots.
And that's just the ones that I did. Yeah.
You examined. So this man was sitting there shooting repeatedly.
I think the guys who did the crime scene are going to be able to tell you something about how many cartridges were found.
Is there a protocol for how you the order you did the autopsies, like the mother and the?
Our goal was to get the kids out and available to the funeral directors first. Just for, obvious reasons.
How many boys and how many girls?
I have no idea.
Doctor,
I don't know.
You said before when I asked you about, you said a third of a century, this is the most you've seen. And I know you're a professional again, and I know you have a veneer that you put up. Were you emotional at any point? Did this get to you at any point where you had to fight back tears?
Not yet. Okay? But, there have been times in my career when for reasons I don't appreciate, go in the locker room and sit down and cry. But, and I think if you don't have to do that, you shouldn't be in this business. But for this one, not yet. Notice I said yet. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you very much.
Can you
say and spell your name?
Yeah, sure. Just I hope you all put this in your calendar, because in 31 years and 26 as chief medical examiner, this is only the second press conference I've given.